Hi guys, it's Horsey Steph, and today I am back with another segment of my Horse Trainer Reacts to Horse Movies, watching Misty. I've really been enjoying this movie so far as we're slowly working our way through it. There's so much great stuff to react to. I love that there really is a lot of focus on the actual interaction and training of the ponies, because that's really what I started this reaction series to react to. And a lot of the movies I've watched have just had very limited horse interactions, and it's been really scripted and really inaccurate, but also like glossed over, and they've tried to avoid that as much as possible. So what I'm really appreciating about this movie is that it's very raw. These are definitely greener, younger horses that they are handling, and they're showing kind of the issues and the approach they would take to training it. So hopefully you guys are enjoying watching this movie as much as I am. If you guys could go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe to my channel for future videos, that would help me out a ton. And let's go ahead and jump on in and keep watching this movie. All right, so this is another example of how you should not be training your horse to lead. Again, he's trying to outmuscle this baby pony and just pull it along. So all he's really teaching this pony at this point is how to pull back and fight against that pressure. When you make things confusing or difficult for a horse, they're gonna think to brace against you and get away from your pressure more than they're gonna think about going forward and releasing to that pressure. Obviously, this horse has no understanding of pressure and release anyway, so he's gonna do what anyone else would do. He feels pressure, he's gonna brace against it, right? It's the same thing we would do. If you push us, we're gonna brace back against you. We're not gonna naturally go into that push and find that release. You have to teach a horse to do this. By continuing to pull as the pony moves back and pulls against, he's reinforcing that go-to habit of when I'm confused and I don't know, let me pull back to get away. It's one of the most irritating things you can have in a pony and a horse is this habit of pulling back and leaning back off against things and trying to get away from stuff that way. So if you teach this with either the method I've explained in previous segments of this movie of turning them and, you know, helping them figure out how to give to the pressure laterally before forward, or you had somebody behind this pony to get it forward, that would help a lot to make it a lot easier for the pony to find the right answer. Again, you want to make the right answer easy and the wrong answer hard. So that just kind of sets it up to do that, to make the wrong answer pulling back really hard. And you're not reinforcing this habit of pulling back where the pony is kind of getting away with it. Getting away with it's not really the right word, but you know, he's pulling back and he's sitting in that and he's thinking about that and he's wondering if it's the right answer. He's gonna come back to it more frequently the more time he spends sitting in that pulling back. So that would be my big concern with this training method. It's just that habit's gonna come back anytime he's confused and gets backed off of something, because he's sitting in it for so long, it's becoming habit. All right, so they did kind of have the girl come up behind that pony and push it forward. I just don't know why they didn't do that sooner. You want to push the horse forward as soon as they think about going backwards off the pressure, not wait for them to really be committed to going backwards and then push them up. Because again, then you're reinforcing the idea that they only go forward when there's somebody behind them, versus if you catch it as soon as they start to think about going back, you're like, no, go forward. It's not a decision they've made yet. They haven't committed to it. They haven't started to develop that habit of going backwards yet. They just barely cross their mind, oh, get forward. They're like, oh, never mind, that's a bad idea, and they're less likely to think about it again. And that's your goal with training, is to make horses not even think about making the bad choice, not even think about forming those bad habits, but be thinking about the right answer right away, because that's going to make them much easier to work with in the future. All right, so here they have a much better system. This pony is obviously not 100% broke, because you do have the boy leading and the girl behind the pony. But she has her hand on that pony's rump this entire time. That way, anytime the pony does kind of go to sit back, she can really push it forward and get it moving again before it's really thought about it too long. This is similar to how a lot of people will train horses to lead by themselves. They'll put a belt rope around the foal, and then you can hold the horse in one hand, the butt rope in the other hand, pull the front. They don't want to go push the back with that butt rope. So she's basically acting as a butt rope now, keeping her hand on that horse's rump and being ready to shove when she needs to. Much better system than kind of not being there until the horse is really, really pulling against them. But I would have thought they'd get this horse a little bit more trained before they sold it. So I don't know if they just ran out of time. Somebody wanted the baby, and so, you know, it's sold when it's sold, or if they said it was done, even though it's not completely done and they're getting sloppy in their training. That would be my first instinct, though, is these kids are kind of rushing. They had good success with the first one. They made some money. They're like, let's get through all of them as quickly as possible so that we can make all the money off of them, and don't really want to spend the time to get the training really great. They just want to get a little bit of training done so the horse can be sold and they can make their extra money. But they're very happy about that. Got another one sold. They're selling these like hotcakes, man. Wow, they got all of them sold. That was really fast seeming. I mean, obviously this is a movie, so they haven't, you know, shown us all the boring details and stuff, but I'm really surprised. They got all of those foals sold. Like, bam, bam, bam. They were selling them like hotcakes. But maybe there's something to this training them a little bit first that they sell a lot easier. Also, I have to wonder if some of why they're selling so easily is that nobody trains their ponies before selling them. This is like special. Oh, they're trained ponies, which you see rarely.
What if he says we can't have the Phantom? What? Grandpa said that only the young ones could be tamed.
I don't know why they're just now going back to this whole problem of the Phantom being 3, and it's too difficult to train a 3-year-old and tame them, and also that they don't adopt out 3-year-olds. So I don't know why that's coming up now. I thought that the kids had completely forgotten about that issue and just ignored it. But it is a real issue. I'd be very worried about that. I'd be wanting to talk to people about that before I spent all of my free time trying to earn extra money to buy a pony that's not even going to be for sale. However, I'm sure that if they can convince the fire department to sell that pony to them, the grandfather is not going to say, no, you can't have her just because she's 3 and she's going to be way too difficult. I think he'll be like, you know what? You want the challenge? You want to waste your time trying to break a 3-year-old? Go for it. Because certainly nobody said it's impossible. They've just said it's a lot harder, so it's not worth doing it. It's better to get a baby. It's a lot easier. So why not? You know, the kids want to put the time in. Why not give them a 3-year-old and just, you know, make them figure it out? If they want it bad enough, they'll figure out how to train the 3-year-old to ride. And they'll learn some work ethic along the way and learn why maybe they shouldn't have done that. And maybe they should have gotten the baby that's easier.
She can be tamed.
Yeah, she can absolutely be tamed.
Another $40.
We will. I know we will.
I'm curious what they're going to do for the rest of their money. They earned $60 for selling all those ponies. They need $100 total. So they have $40 left to earn. I'm curious what they're going to do to make that money up now that there are no more ponies to train. Oh, they're going crabbing. That's a good idea because they are right on the ocean. Crabbing is not that hard to do. I mean, obviously, people that do it professionally are really good at it. They're pulling in really big loads. But to pull up a few crabs from, you know, near the shore, not super hard to do, and people will pay, you know, something for it. So it's just, you're gonna have to put a lot of time, energy, and effort into it to earn a lot of money. You couldn't earn a living in this fashion, but, you know, he only needs $40 in a few months. So really put the hours in and get it done. Wow, they're taking the vote themselves. I'm really surprised that they have been allowed to take this boat out by themselves. I guess we don't know for sure that they are allowed to. They could have stolen it, but I really doubt they would. The girl seems a little bit too cautious and rule following to steal a boat and go somewhere, even though the boy, obviously we know, will do stuff like that.
But we just have to earn some money. We sure do need it.
We'll do anything.
All right, so he's not willing to employ them or give them any jobs to do, but he said, you know, whatever you can catch, I'll buy from you, which is fair. He's not running a charity. I'm sure he has full-time employees that are doing their job, and, you know, kids are just not as efficient as an adult anyway. But buying their crab that they pick up is perfectly fine because he can resell that with all the other crab that his guys are picking up. So it really, business-wise, it's not going to impact him too much, and it'll help out the kids. That looks like a lot of hard work, man.
We're still $6 short. It's only a week until Pony Pinning Day.
Wow, they're only $6 short, a week away from Pony Penning Day. They've actually done pretty good. I'm pretty impressed that they made the other $94 already. They're gonna have to work really hard this last week looking for crabs and clam and any other odd jobs they can do to get the rest of those $6. But even at this time, I don't think $6 is that much. I mean, I get that it's nothing like $6 now, but I don't think that's unreasonable. They could make $6 in a week. I mean, that's only $1 a day, really. Seems very doable.
I know there's quite a lot of weeds in Mrs. Chester's garden. Maybe she'll hire me to home for it.
I think weeding for neighbors is probably another great option. The girl made a great suggestion there. So if they're willing to give her $1 or something to weed the garden, go for it. I mean, it really, any odd job, as long as it pays, works, right? So come up with things you can do for your neighbors, come up with things you can collect and sell, and just work as hard as you can.
Need any help around here, Mr. Anfeld? But I can help you hammer some lobster traps together.
Don't need any. I got more than I can sell now.
How about me sweeping up the place for only $1? 50 cents? Quarter?
He's just gonna keep lowering that price until he convinces this guy to give him something, even if it's a penny. That is not how you want to go about doing your work. You're better off going out and looking for crabs and clams than saying, I'll do all this work for $1, 50 cents, a quarter, whatever you'll give me. Because time at some point matters, right? You only have a week. You do want to earn this money somewhat efficiently.
$102.
40 cents.
We made it.
Wow, they really hustled and bustled and got just a few dollars over what they needed, which is perfect. You always want to have a little bit too much instead of a little bit too little. So hopefully now they can talk to their grandparents about getting that pony, and again, talk to the fire department about selling that pony if it gets rounded up, and then somehow get it rounded up. So still a lot of ifs, but at least they are prepared at this point. If everything else falls in line, they have the cash in hand so they can buy the pony when the time comes.
As soon as Grandpa gets home from town today, I'll talk to him about renting one of his empty stalls.
I'm glad that he's planning to talk to the grandfather about having Phantom at his place, renting a stall. Seems like he's prepared to work in order to have that privilege, which is great. I think he's really put in a lot of effort this far, and this boy is developing a really good work ethic. So I'm sure the grandfather's going to agree to having this pony. Again, assuming all the other pieces fall in line, which is the tough part, right?
What's coming to this town? Doesn't anyone want to do cash business anymore?
Well, we heard you were in a little trouble. We were only trying to help.
Trouble.
Oh, they all think that he has financial issues because the kids have been running around asking anyone and everyone for odd jobs and to earn a little extra money. So now the town is starting to think that the grandfather is short on money and can't afford his bills. And the kids are like trying to help him out for it. They don't realize that the kids are actually just saving up for their own thing and they want a pony and they needed all that money for a pony. That's kind of funny, and it also kind of sad that the grandfather's going to find out this way that the kids have been running around town begging anyone and everyone to pay them for whatever they could possibly do.
By the way, your grandchildren been pestering everybody for jobs, saying how bad they needed money.
Yeah, exactly. See, because the grandkids were running around saying we need money, we really desperately need money, things are really hard, we need money, everyone thought that they had like an actual financial issue when not at all. Not at all. The kids were just desperate to get that pony.
I got the feeling she thinks we can't afford to buy clothes for Maureen and Paul.
Yeah, it's happening to the wife too. The same thing, that everyone thinks they have no money, even though it's all just a ruse the kids have kind of perpetrated in order to make more money.
I'll ask Grandpa about renting a stall for the Phantom now.
This is probably not a good time to ask the grandfather about renting a stall, considering he's already upset with them.
I mean, since school's been let out for the summer, what have you been doing in town every day?
Working, but not until our chores are done. Well, we only told him we wanted work.
Because we had to earn some money.
Why did you do it?
I understand why he's really upset about this, because obviously you don't want people to go around pitying you and trying to give you freebies and whatnot when you don't need it. But I see it from the kids' point of view. You know, they needed that money to buy this pony, so they did what they needed to do, and I admire that about them, that they got it done and got the money that they needed.
Enough for what?
To buy the Phantom with.
You don't need to buy any pony. The corral is full of them. Go out and ride anytime you want.
I get the grandfather's point of view. He has a bunch of ponies. Why would they need to go buy a pony? Why would they need to spend $100 on a pony when he has all these ponies they can ride and do whatever they want whenever they want? But I also get the kids' point of view. They want their own. Obviously, the grandfather could give them their own, but they want the Phantom. They don't just want a pony, they want the Phantom. And that's really where this whole thing started. So I don't think they're really going to be happy with any pony unless it's actually the Phantom.
But it's the Phantom we want, Grandpa.
We've wanted her since the first time we saw her.
See, they don't want one of their grandfather's ponies, even though he just offered to give them one. They really do want the Phantom. To them, that's the only pony worth having.
What makes you think she can be caught?
Because I'll be riding with you this time, Grandpa.
He's gonna magically catch the pony.
The Phantom's caught, and in the pony penning grounds the day after tomorrow, you can buy it, and I'll give you a stall and feed and everything for nothing.
I'm glad that he's appreciating that they really wanted something and they worked really hard to get it. And he's offering to let them get the pony, and he's going to give them the stall and the feed and help them take care of the pony. Because I think that they really deserve that. He's right. It is a very big virtue to have that kind of work ethic and put the time in to get what you want instead of just expecting other people to provide for you and give you things. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed that segment of Misty. I'm really liking where this is going. The kids have finally saved up enough money to buy the pony. I think the next segment, we're gonna start off right away with the pony penning, which I'm so excited for. I can't wait to, see how that goes. I'm very curious to see if they can actually catch the Phantom, because again, that seems a little bit crazy to me, but we'll see. I'm excited. Can't wait for the next segment. But of course, I don't want to make this video, 45 minutes long. So we are going to save that for the next one. Definitely, I'm very appreciative of the work ethic these kids have. They just seem like really solid, good kids, which I feel like is really starting to lack in today's society. So it's refreshing to see kids that are really working towards something they want. Again, this was in 1961 though, so I think it was a little bit more common back then. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this as much as I enjoyed reacting to it, and I will see you guys all tomorrow. Bye.